Hey, welcome in, guys. Oh my gosh, that left sound off of my laptop. All right, I'm gonna do some more unboxing sorting like I have been with the 8 tracks. I got all my shipping done for my show this morning. Got all my stuff for my website, eBay shipped. Um, and Butterfly is away, so I'm gonna do some unboxing. If you've never been here before, um, I'm just gonna put 4 of them up there, run them real quick. It'll be choice of them. You can tell me 1, 2, 3, or 4 if you want one of them, and then I'll just put more up there and sort them in between. And I've been sorting them. Kristen, are you bored? I've been sorting the ones that don't sell into some lots for eBay. Um, I'm on eBay under the same ID, and I know you're not supposed to advertise eBay, but if you see any 8 track lots on eBay that you want me to run for what the starting bid is, um, I can do that here, and I'll just sell them for what the starting bid is. Um, well, I don't know you're gonna find too much excitement here, but you're welcome to hang out. Hey, Ghost, did you sell your stamp holder? I was trying for you. I don't know. I have a hard enough time selling them. But speaking of that, okay, I'm gonna pin this. What's it? You guys seeing a reasonable shipping there? That sounded like a good deal, Ghost. I didn't look at the picture, but hey, Mrs. Ghost. All right, that seems about right. I don't know what happened this morning. For some reason, it was charging £5 for my lightest item, and it's the same light item that I sell every Sunday. So I'm just gonna. Hey, Butterfly, did you get moved in? I'm just gonna start running these and go. We have Porter Wagner, Dolly Parton, Mel Street, Bing Crosby, and Andrew Williams. You've got a friend, and I think I must be on in the other room because I can hear someone talking over there. The media rates weren't changing. I don't know if it was um oh, the meter rates on here. I don't know what happened this morning. People were getting charged. It was saying it was going to charge them like $21 for one item. Is that right? Now what you gonna do, dear? Steve Miller, Book of Dreams, Jimmy Swaggart, one more time, live. Margot Smith, a woman, and Farron Young, deputies, self-titled. Those are wrong. Forerunner, self-titled. Magic of Hawaii. Kana, whatever, and his Hawaiians. Neil Diamonds. I'm glad you're here with me tonight. And T.G. Shepard, Smooth Sailing. Doobie Brothers, Minute by Minute. Luca Legend. Helen Reddy's Greatest Hits. And Gordon Lightfoot, Summertime Dream. And those are self-titled Fleetwood Mac. Fontana Slovene Button Box Club. Donald Byrd and Booker Little, The Third World. And whatever that is. I don't know. I don't read whatever language that is. Korean, maybe? Don't know. Those are running. Solid Goldsboro. Assume it's Bobby Goldsboro, but I don't know. Ace 5 aside. Foreigner Double Vision. And a Go-Go Guitars. And those are running. Elton John, 11/17/70. Johnny Mathis, Merry Christmas. Elton John, Rock of the Westies. And Cotton Eye Joe and other Texas dance hall favorite. Those are wrong. Bill Cosby for adults only. The Lanny Wolf Trio, A Brand New Touch. John Sebastian, John B. Sebastian, and Sonny and Cher, All I Ever Need Is You. And those are right. Connie Francis, A Treasury of Love Songs. Peter Frampton, I'm in You. Oh, and Bishy's missing a belly button. Al Martino, Yesterday. And Kenny Rogers' Greatest Hits. Roy Clark's Greatest Hits, Volume 1. The Spinners. Cal Smith, Drinking Champagne. And This Is Just What Heaven Means to Me, Jimmy Swaggart. Frankie Lane, Golden Hits. Billy Joel, 52nd Street. Self-titled Barbara Streisand. Neil Sedaka, Emergent. Oh, he's running. Barbara Streisand, Chris Christopherson, A Star Is Born. Eric Clapton, Slow Hand. K-Tel Power Play. And the best of the Pat Terry Group. And a Barbara Streisand Christmas album. Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick. A Vintage Collector's Music, Volume 1. And Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. I think those are running. Linda Ronstadt, Simple Dreams. The Best of the James Gang. Sonny James, Southern Gentleman, or the Gentleman from the South. And Elvis in Concert, Twin Pack. And those are running. Neil Diamond, the jazz singer. Jerry Vale, Alone Again Naturally. Partridge Family Sound Magazine. And Vicky Carr, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. And those ones are running. Seals and Crofts, Greatest Hits. The Who, Face Dances. Sonny and Cher, Mama was a rock and roll singer, and Papa used to write all her songs. And Raymond Fairchild, King of the Smoky Mountain, 5-string banjo players. There's one. And we have Urban Cowboy, Dr. John, In the Right Place, Linda Ronstadt's Greatest Hits, and Rod Stewart and Night in Town. And there's a run. Andy Gibb, Shadow Dancing. Kiss Alive 2, Volume 1. The Ventures, Rock and Roll Forever. And People's Choice, Turn Me Loose. And those are run. Supremes, High Energy. Linda Ronstadt, Heart Like a Wheel. The Kings of Folk Music. And Kathy Dalton, Boogie Bands, and One Night Stands in the original sleeve. And those are run. Jimmy Roselli, Love in Naples. Smash Hits Volume 2. Tony Orlando and Dawn's Greatest Hits. And Eddie Arnold, Somebody Like Me. And those are Hookman. I'm unboxing 8 tracks and running them for choice and then sorting them. Best of Bread, Foreigner Self Titled, Foreigner Double Vision, and Hank Williams' Life to Legend. And those are running. Christmas Country, Richard Pryor, Helen Reddy, and Andrew Gold, All This in Heaven Too. Mormon Tabernacle Choir, Christmas Carols Around the World, Bing Crosby's Greatest Hits, including White Christmas, Annie Original Cast Recording, and Candlelight Moods Enoch Light. Yeah, there's around. C.W. McCall, Wolf Creek Pass, Abbott and Costello, Who's on First? Oh, this one's a naughty one. Hudson and Landry, Hanging in There. Freddie Fender, Are You Ready for Freddie? And that's running. And Alice Cooper Killer, Bootleg. Peggy Lee, In the Name of Love. Edwin Starr, 25 Miles. And Three Dog Night Harmony. Countryside of Jimmy Davis. Bishy. You all ready to go, Bishy? Linda Ronstadt, What's New? Diana Ross, All the Great Hits. And 101 Strings plays Glenn, and Tommy Dorsey. Is he nervous or is he just happy he's going to get it fixed? Well, at least say knock him out for it. Nancy Wilson, close up. Roger Whittaker, all my best. Bobby G. Rice, you lay easy on my mind. And Perry Como, look to your heart in the original box. And that's running. You're gonna make sure you go to bed nice and early and get a good night's sleep, or you're gonna stay up all night being worried. Wanda Jackson, please help me. I'm falling. Jerry Clower Power from Ohio. But she worked at some ungodly hour in the morning. And Mason Prophet moving towards happiness. I don't know when she works either. I would think if you're, I don't know if she actually wipes butts. She always says she wipes butts. I would think that would be a bad time to have to wipe butts. It's first thing in the morning after people sleep all night. Statler Brothers, Atlanta Blue. Bill Black's combo, Rock and Roll Forever. The Kendalls, Just Like Real People. Carl Smith sings a tribute to Roy Acuff. Who does it running? Frank Sinatra, Nevertheless, I'm in Love with You. Frank Sinatra, Watertown. The Pointer Sisters, Energy. And the Bay City Rollers, It's a Game. Bishop, you missed two belly buttons. And a Ted Nugent fair chest. And boobies. But you didn't miss any sales, so. Engelbert Humperdinck, Release Me. This is Al Martino. Bill Gaither Trio live across America, and Tom T. Hall, the Magnificent Music Machine. That's okay, Bishy. Actually, they were here. At least two of them. I think they all were. I think they followed me and saw me come on and popped in and saw what I was doing and decided that wasn't for them. Jerry Wallace, Primrose Lane, Don't Give Up on Me. Johnny Rivers, Homegrown. Casey, no. The Sound of the Sunshine Band. So it's not Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's Sunshine Band. Yeah, I'm adding to it. And Thelma Houston, The Devil in Me. And that's running. I don't think any of the 8 tracks did. Some of the 8 tracks, it's one of the sealed lots ended and sold. Some of the cassette lots sold. I put pretty high prices for starts on them because I don't want to. They're not going anywhere. They're sitting down there all boxed up, ready to go. If they sell, I'll lower it. I can uh, lower the price at some point. 2 John Sebastians there. Floyd Kramer looking for Mr. Goodbar. And Jay Ferguson. Real life ain't this way. And that's running. I sold a hat or a stick pin on my site today, and that one lady came into my show earlier asking if I had any. So I assumed it was that woman. That or just a big coincidence. Yeah, I told Butterfly that was when I started selling on here. That's kind of what I hoped would happen, and it doesn't happen very often that I send people there and they actually buy something. Because that was one of the big selling points of this when I started was that you could advertise your own website. Do you got a lot on Mercari? Eric Mercury, Love is Taking Over. Hugo Winterhalter, the Best of Motion Picture Hits, Maureen McGovern, Morning After, and the Kingston Trio, Once Upon a Time. And that's running. Are you on there under the same name? I haven't been there for so long. I can't keep up with all the sites that I have stuff on now. Welcome in. I'm unboxing and sorting 8 tracks and trying to sell them. The Statler Brothers, The Legend Goes On. Rudy Vallee, or Valley, Ho Ho, or Hi Ho, everybody. That looks like that'd be a rockin' tape. Faces as a not as good as a wink to a blind horse. Everybody wants to talk. Guest stars of the Hee Haw Show. Joni Mitchell, Dawn Juan's Reckless Daughter, Gordon Lightfoot, Summertime Dream, Exile, Mixed Emotions, and Firefall Elon. Or Elon. Those are them. Good job, Bushy. That's exactly the amount that I won on one a few weeks ago. Well, it was the last time Butterfly was in Pittsburgh. I scratched off a few that she had bought me that I didn't that I hadn't scratched off, and one of them was $65, and one of them was a free ticket, I think. And that was the first time I'd won any significant amount in a long time. Well, I don't think we have that here. Elvis, How Great Thou Art. Turn the radio on the Blackwood Brothers. Bette Midler, Broken Blossom, and the Dionne Warwick story. And that's running. Does your state have the app for the phone where you can check your tickets or play? Yeah, Pennsylvania, they've got one. You don't even have to scratch the tickets. You can just point your phone at them, and they buy them. You can buy them in the machines now at every freaking store in the world. They have them to check out at the grocery store, and as soon as they have the drawings for the like Powerball and stuff, you can just point your phone at them. What am I getting a bad Yelp review for? Unforgettable. Sean Cassidy, Under Wraps. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I just decided to go on sort of last minute. I was going to have a different show, but Sherry bailed and took me longer than I thought. And that's running. Speaking of Butch, I haven't checked your website to see if you have made any progress. No, not since the last time that I was there. I thought maybe you might have thrown up a homepage or something. Maybe put your kid to some slave labor artwork and hey, some people do weird things to relieve stress. I guess, like play with their websites. I don't know. 5 commissions. She's going to be paying Orange Jesus all sorts of taxes. Thought she was retired until next year. Oh, it is this. It is next year already. Kenny Rogers in the first edition greatest hits. Traffic. Shoot out at the Fantasy Factory. Steve Martin, the Wild and Crazy Guy, and Neil Diamond, the Jazz Singer soundtrack. Oh, you control all you want, Ohio. She's an Orange Jesus fan, I guess, huh? Well, I'm sort of worried that the black vans are going to roll up just by referring to him as Orange Jesus. Nat King Cole walking my baby back home, Renaissance, live at Carnegie Hall, Urban Chipmunk, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and Al Hurt Country. He didn't ask at the beginning of this show. I asked him, and he said no. He said it would sell eventually, and Mrs. Ghost come on and said that's what he always says, or something like that. Keep on trucking. The Four Seasons story. Neil Diamond touching you, touching me. I told him I tried. I said I have a hard enough time selling my own shit. Oh, between that shipping thing, it was. I don't think I sold over $100. I didn't sell over $100 to a single person today. Usually, there's somebody that's got a real big order and has over $100 themselves or bids on a couple big things. It's depressing when you start shipping that stuff and you see somebody with like 14 items or something and they spent $47. For some reason, my lightweight item that I always use, it was like charging people like £5 shipping. And like people didn't notice until the end of the show and near the end of the show. England, Diana, John Ford Coley, Nights Are Forever, Renee and Renee, El Mexicano, Put Me in Jail. I'm shaking my head back here. Johnny Paycheck, She's All I Got, and Andrew Gold. I don't care what you do, Bishy. I got to figure out how to do the covert, which you told me once, and I forgot how to do the covert sneaky chat with the mod. Hazy was having too much fun, and she was hypnotized by my enthralling presentation of my vintage crap, and she couldn't peel her eyes away. She needed Bishy to break the spell. The Chambers Brothers, now Dolly Parton, Great Balls of Fire. I don't know what that is. Nobody wants it anyway. And David Soul. She's probably still banned for today. Oh, it's just that show. Glenn Campbell, Oh Happy Day. Yeah, and there was all sorts of glitches when I was shipping stuff too. I think they're putting that 265 million Capital Infusion to work and just launching all sorts of shit and breaking the site. Odetta sings folk songs. Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds, and the best of Buddha. Well, it. I think I told you when I started it. I don't know that I told you when I finished it. But it took a while. I just shipped the stop sign separately. I just stuck a label on the back of it. That was nice of her to tip me because there was no way I could get that. And I thought of that as soon as I saw her request that I shouldn't have had that out there. Yeah, she's funny. I like her. She doesn't have anything scheduled. I guess she's breeding her dog fighters or whatever. What's that? George Jenkins' White Christmas, Let the Good Times Roll soundtrack, Schubert's Greatest Hits, and Hugo Montenegro, Mammy Blue. She's struggling with her creativity. I don't know what to tell you there or what to tell her. Maybe she should have a show where she has the viewers pick things to put in her vignettes, and they could like tip her $1 for each choice they make. Just keep tagging her and harassing her, asking her when her show is. That's what I do with you and Sherry. Johnny Mathis, The Best Days of My Life, The James Gang, Your Album, The Osmonds, Crazy Horses, and Marshall Tucker Band, Carolina Dreams. And that's running. Did you figure out how close you're living to her? Ghost bid. Oh, you told me that, I think. Thanks, Ghost. Number 2, thank you. No, you can buy as many as you want, Ghost. You weren't saying anything. I thought you left. I usually don't click on the thing to see who's in here. If I say something to Bish or somebody that was in here and they don't respond, I just assume they left and stop talking to them. Nat King Cole, Nature Boy, Triumph, Progression to Power, Helen Reddy, I Don't Know How to Love Him, and George Benson, Give Me the Night. Oh, I'm disappointed with my lack of wonderful things. Well, you can feel free to chime in with anything you'd like to talk about, Ghost, if you want to talk. It's funny, some of those shows I have on Sundays, I've had people spend like $400 or something in a show, and they'll just keep buying stuff right one after the other, and they'll never say anything in the chat. I've had people come back week after week that I've never heard them say anything. Well, I don't hear them, I read it. Every once in a while, Pam would say stuff. Not very often, though. So, Billy Joel Glasshouses, Billy Joe Roberts, beer drinking and music, Neil Diamond, jazz singer, and stuff, more stuff. If I'm gonna check to make sure she's not here, which I don't. I don't really believe the list of people that are here anyway. I'll just offend her if she is. Yeah, if I could, if Chris never bought much off of me. Every once in a while, and it's been a long time since he did, but yeah, if I had 5 Maggies a week, wow, I could be somewhat successful at this. Ghost, that's the only reason anybody buys. we we were buying eggs for $1.50 a dozen. Butterfly had like 8 dozen in the fridge at one point, I think. We don't eat them very much. Black Oak, Arkansas. If an angel came to see you, would you make her feel at home? Carl Smith, Smash Hits Volume 81, and BJ Thomas Greatest Hits. Margaret. I guess that would be Peggy. Peggy's usually what they go by. I'm sure everybody knows here that where I'm at, but I'm in rural Pennsylvania, and it's very, 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 very conservative here. And I listened to 4 years of bitching about the administration that we had in there. Listened to everybody say that he was the dumbest president we've ever had, and also that he was a criminal mastermind at the same time, and whine about the price of eggs for 4 years. And most of the only place I talk to people are auctions, and constantly bitching about eggs. And then last summer, that Amish person started uh, bringing eggs to the auction, and they were selling for there was weeks when the auctioneer couldn't get $1 a dozen for them, and he had to give a little lecture. All those people bitching about the price of eggs, and then they had like 50 dozen sitting there, and they could have bought as many as they wanted for $1, and they all just sat in their hands. I assume most Amish have chickens. 400 Double Vision, Linda Ronstadt, Simple Dreams, Nils Lofgren, Night After Night, and Gord's Gold, Gordon Lightfoot. Kristen is like some sort of psyops master. She's got everybody saying hi to her. I need to take your self help course, Kristen, and have you teach me how to get everybody to bid on my crap. Yes, she does get cranky if you don't say hi to her. That's right. She's an influencer. She's an influencer that admits she's an influencer. Swinging the classics. A Tommy Cash bootleg. The best of Willie Nelson. This is one of the last 8 tracks that they probably ever made. 1986. You got about a year less, or a year or two maybe, and they were done. Rod Stewart, Foolish Behavior. That is true, Kristen. She's a tuber. War, the World is a Ghetto bootleg. Hey, it's Vanilla Rice. You win the best user ID of the day, Vanilla. Something Hawaii, 101 Strings Hawaii, Mantovani from Monty with Love, and Chrysler car demo tape from 1978. Those are Hawaiian love songs by the Polynesians. Fiddler on the Roof soundtrack in the original box. At Benatar Crimes of Passion. What am I going to do about them? Probably leave them sit there right where they're at. And try it again. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. I'll probably make them taller and then just bitch about it. Those are enough. I'm gonna. Yeah, it was. So it was within under 2 years from the time that one was made. Do you have those ones upstate? What's the gem of your collection? Can't really go by rarity because there's some stupid rare stuff. It's not real desirable. Godspell. Paul Bank Paul Anka's Golden Hits. Willie Nelson sings Christofferson, and Don Williams, especially for you. And that is running. UK quad version of Dark Side of the Moon. Is this still selling like that? Pretty good price. George Jones, I Am What I Am. You should do you have doubles of a lot of good stuff? You got doubles of any hip hop and rap? I think it's Cold Crush is always looking for those. Oh, Cold's there too, lurking. Good at Bishy. For me remembering something. George Jones, Gallery, Melissa Manchester singing, and Wings London Town. And those are running. I always thought that and I didn't have the ambition to do it, but I always thought doing a really good counterfeit Nirvana bleach and sticking it on eBay, making it look like Sub Pop come out with one and coming up with a backstory and inserting some stuff into the internet about it existing and then putting it on there. I thought somebody could have made a small fortune in that because Bleach come out just about the time 8 tracks were just um, completely out of production, at least by the major labels. Well, upstate, if you ever find, I don't know, Cold has a number that he has that he's missing a few that he needs to complete his collection. Yeah, Richard Betts, Highway Call, The Moody Blues, In Search of the Last Chord, Johnny Lee, Bet Your Heart on Me. I don't know if I ever had Rattle and Hum. Can't remember. Willie Nelson, Always on My Mind. Johnny Lee. Cool. You ought to, if you have a list of them, you ought to send them to me because I probably don't remember. I might not even know some of the ones you're talking about. Barbara Streisand, People. Marty Robbins, The Performer. Yeah, but Cold's looking for the hip hop ones. And I certainly wouldn't be able to. He needs 9 or 10. Uh, but I probably wouldn't be able to name more than a few of them off the top of my head if you held a gun to my head and forced me to. Bishy, some of this stuff is so ridiculously rare that it's 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 not worth even trying to figure it out because I mean I've had hundreds of thousands of tapes and there's tapes I've never seen. Helen Reddy, Long Hard Climb, Glenn Campbell Live, Mel Tillis, The Great Mel Tillis, and Oak Ridge Boys. Greatest hits. Do you have any of the folding 8 tracks upstate? Yeah, the folding ones. I have never had one. Like I said, I've had hundreds of thousands of tapes and never never saw one beyond the ones that have been on eBay. Kenny Rogers and Dottie West every time two fools collide. Sonny James when something is wrong with my baby. Seasons in the Sun. Harry Jacks and Jane Oliver Stay the Night. Yeah, that's runner. Yeah, Bishy, if you're gonna take notes, look up the folding 8 tracks. They're any folding 8 track probably or all folding 8 tracks combined are as rare as some of this rarest stuff that they're talking about. But if you if you happen to find one at a thrift shop, there's a good chance somebody's dead or something and they throw their stuff in the thrift shop that they're not gonna know that that is something that's valuable. Barbara Butterfly, Miss Donna Fargo, Streisand and Chris Christopherson Guilty, and Billy Joel 52nd Street. Hey, Bastiques. That's running. And if you find one, you can pay your rent for a few months, probably. Oh, I'm sure there's some around here. I know there's some around here, but not many. I hate those. I never like dealing with them because unless you listen to them, you can't tell whether they're all there. And I just don't like dealing with them. Most of the time I got them, I just sold them on eBay as is. And that way, if somebody had chopped off 10 feet of it or something, I didn't really have to deal with it. Dottie West High Times, Neil Diamond, September Morn, uh, Barbara Streisand, Songbird, and Chris Christopherson, me and Bobby McGee. Where is it running? I do get asked a lot on here by Reel to Reel though, so there must be a lot of collectors out there for them. But I was just thinking, Bish, you could open up a thrift store yourself, but then I thought that would mean you'd have to see people every day. Brothers in Song compilation, Diana Ross and the Supremes anthology, Boxcar Willie, King of the Road, and Engelbert Humperdinck, Easy to Love. You're farming. You're not farming on Timu, are you? Linda Ronstadt's greatest hits, Herb Alpert Beyond, Super Slab hits, and George Jones and Timmy Wynette Encore. Sherry made you do it. Maybe Butterfly's farming on Timu. She's not talking much. Are you still awake, Butterfly? She's probably annoyed that I asked her another question. She probably doesn't know the phone there. Uh, Farewell, Angelina, Joan Baez, Ben E. King, Supernatural, Paul and Linda McCartney, Ram, Bootleg, and Nilsson sings Newman with the original sleeve. Undoing it? Why? It was beautiful. Did you tell me when I was sleeping? I don't remember. So some sort of country compilation in the box, Best of Ed Ames in the box, the Beach Boys in concert, and the Prophet. Ugh, by Richard Harris. And that is funny. I don't remember that, Butterfly. Is that the one you're gonna, since you're making it in gray, is that the one you're gonna give to the one you don't care for too much? Johnny Cash, Silver Village People Cruising, Freddie Fender, recorded inside the Louisiana State Prison, and the best of Freddie Fender. And that's right. Is the one that you don't like Nancy Drew? she, she, she made this one. It's like rainbow colored. It's all sorts of different colors. It's very pretty, and it's like little squares in the middle, and it radiates out in squares of color. And I asked her if that was for the one lady that's kind of her friend, and she said, "Yeah." So I said, "That's like Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat or whatever. She's getting the fancy one because she's the favorite." Eddie Arnold, Sha Na Na, Leo Sayer, and the best of Charlie Pride. And Nancy Drew is getting the one that's colored like a cloudy day. I think part of the reason that she doesn't like Nancy Drew is because Nancy Drew doesn't listen when people talk and then asks the same questions over and over again. Sort of like me. Everyone hates her. The Doobie Brothers, minute by minute. And does the guy that make the 3D printed toys and stuff, does he make her really crappy ones? Like was her snowman all melted and like was her Christmas tree crappy colors or like the pumpkin rotten or something? Hank Snow, somebody's singing Ronnie Millsap, and Lawrence Welk. Well, I think, yeah, that's another reason Butterfly doesn't care for much because she doesn't show up very often. And you're supposed to show up every week or be held in contempt, I think. And she doesn't show up and then she doesn't know what's going on. And she complains about being there. So she's like the female version of me on Whatnot. Red Foley, Songs of Devotion, Soul Salvation by the Caravans, Jimmy Roselli, Love in Naples, and We Must Believe in Magic, Crystal Gale. Oh, that's what. Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Butterfly was, I think, was kind of hoping that she would just stop showing up altogether. She wouldn't have to make her one. I try to show up. I was about 30 seconds late this morning, I think. You, man, they're really cracking down on you, Ohio. They're not letting the word bitch slip through anymore. Marie Osmond Paper Roses, Burt Bacharach, Futures, Bob James 4, and Willie Nelson Redheaded Stranger. These three are those laminated labels. They're very nice. Nope, Bishy, you can't say bitch ass. This one is also a very nice label. Says that one. That's John Williams' greatest hits, the guitar. That's James Taylor in the pocket. And more laminated labels. Dan Hill, self-titled. This one is not laminated. Christmas this year, the Letterman. I'm proud of you getting something to sneak through there, Christian. I gotta move my stacks. Just have to wait a few seconds. Okay. Dainty. What am I spending time doing? Yeah, I have no idea if he took them off or um, did it on the tape. There are some, I don't see any right here, but there are some that he did, like, I don't know, 1% of them maybe, that looked like it faded the back label. Like the front's laminated and the back's laminated, but like some of them on the back, the lettering is faded. If that's a clue, I don't know. But it's only like every once in a while, and there's very few of them that look like that. And I don't see any of the ones in this box on top that look that way. That one's laminated. Kenny Rogers, Gideon, Don Tune Weaving, Fleetwood Mac Rumors, and Santana Shango. And it's running. Have Ira laminated anything? I don't know. Possibly book covers. Santana, the Swing of Delight. Uh, Santana won the Silver Dreams Golden Reality. Both of those have laminated labels. The Vogues sing the good old songs. That's also laminated. And so is that Dusty Lost Horizon soundtrack. That's oh shit. She'll know how we feel about not having her to listen to tonight. When does she embark on her journey? I know you told me 6 times. Dan Hill, Frozen in the Night, also laminated. Bob James H, laminated. Willie Nelson with Waylon Jennings, Take It to the Limit. And James Taylor and JT, and those are all laminated. And that is running. The Missing White House Tapes, National Lampoon, with a laminated label. Woman by Burt Bacharach. Jesse James. See, that's one of those ones that the adhesive or whatever come through a little bit. Most of them are about perfect. And that would have been something that happened afterwards, however that happens. And Eddie Rabbit Horizon, non laminated. And is right. You're hardcore upstate. I just poke holes in them. I absolutely hate fixing tapes. Dave and Sugar to your time. The best of Buck Owens and Susan Ray, and million sellers of the 60s, Silver Strings Orchestra, and Ray Conniff plays the Bee Gees. And that's running. I know some people like doing it, but not me. Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. Sergio Mendes, vintage 74. Last Tango in Paris, that's a laminated one. Exodus and Earl Klugh and Klug, or however you pronounce that, and Bob James, two of a kind. So those two are laminated. Yeah, I did. I didn't. I couldn't find one with a rivet. I don't think I had a. Yeah, couldn't find one with a rivet easily. So you didn't get one of those. If you progress and you learn how to uh, do all the other ones and want one with a rivet, I'll dig one up for you. Those gummy ones, you got to get a screw and put down in those holes and screw them until they pop apart. Yeah, the rivet ones aren't bad. At least to get apart. But I just couldn't find one in my stack. Ghost wanted some to tinker with. The different, and I sent him a bunch of different kinds of cartridges. Herb Alpert Rise, Diodato Air 2 in concert, and Helen Reddy live in London, and Burl Lives. I don't know, doing Burl Lives. And those are running. Where'd you go, Bishy? Chris Christopherson, Shake Hands with the Devil. Art Garfunkel, Bait for Breakfast. Andrew Lloyd Webber Variations. And Kiki D, Loving and Free, and those all have laminated labels in very nice condition. And those are running. Bishy, my aunt just had a double mastectomy, and my uncle apparently is taking care of her. And I talked to him the other day, and he said he was having to do laundry. I can't. I didn't ask when the last time he did laundry was, but I'm guessing it probably was 40 years ago or more. Barry Manilow, Here Comes the Night. Barry Manilow, One Voice. Henry Mancini, Pure Gold, all laminated. The World of the Statler Brothers, not laminated. I, it, she might if she gets up a little bit better. Apparently, he's still helping her get her socks on and get dressed. So she might not be able to make it out to the laundry room yet. Although she'll eventually see how he folds and hangs this stuff up wrong, probably. Was that, how long does she? No, I didn't, Butterfly. Reflection, Dandy Williams, Kiki D Band. I've got the music in me. The Other Side of the Mountain soundtrack. Those are all laminated. And this Village People Cruising is in very nice condition, but it's not laminated. Well, Yorp, I was gonna have a show and raid into Wicked Sherry, who was having a show tonight at 8:15, but she canceled. And by the time I got done shipping for my show this morning, I was getting kind of tired, so I figured I'd just sit down and do 8 tracks instead of try to do something more rigorous. Meg, you want me to run it? None of this stuff's going in my shop, as far as I know at this point. I had all these listed, and it's a long story. They're no longer listed on anywhere. Um, I'm listing some of the sealed stuff um, that I have in quantity into whatnot, and a lot of the other stuff I'm just lotting up for eBay. What is that? Kiki D, self-titled. Um, Gable and Lombard soundtrack. Chris Christopherson to the Bone and Larry Gatlin. Oh brother! Oh, you missed everything. All the good rock stuff will be in my Friday show. Pre-listed. You have to use your coupons and pre-bid. It's like a stack of Iron Maiden, sealed and autographed. There's that one for you. I think that's the only one of those we had tonight. The Full Strikes Again, Charlie Rich, The Best of Nat King Cole, and where is it? You missed Boobies, Yorp. That's another Hudson and Landry hanging in there like a ghost spot. I think the guy's hanging by the noose. That one's got boobies on it. And then there was that one. I don't know. Nobody bid on it. Volume 2 or Volume 1, Alive 2, Volume 1. Volume 1. Thank you, Upstate. Do you want that, Yorp? I, I bet you do. Running again. Throw the magic organ up there. Got three things to ship. Unless somebody was secretly making offers and I didn't know. No offers. Upstate. um, yeah, I replied to your message. If you order within a show, it'll combine the shipping. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but there I have multiple copies of that Lucifer's Friend title. I don't know why they made different labels for it. Um, if you're just into collecting rare shit. Um, well, don't stop buying just because you have one or two of them. Your but but upstate there is another Lucifer's Friend title in there too. I think. Oh, he must be nervous if he didn't even come up with a smart ass comment about Magic Organ. I can't see one without thinking of something stupid in my head. Statler Brothers, Pee Wee King, Willie Nelson without a song, and Herb Alpert. The Odessa File soundtrack. There's some really good and rare soundtracks I've had tonight. Too bad there wasn't two hardcore soundtrack collectors in here wanting to fight over them. The Letterman Love Book, Roger Whittaker, The Balladeer, and another Diodato, 2001. You want to get the 21 country and western tapes? I've already forgotten what the for oh okay yeah I remember now. Oh, my memory's horrible. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no real easy way once they're listed. I mean, I've got, I've got probably 300 boxes of stuff that have whatnot stuff in them because I've got several thousand tapes, but I've also got, I don't know, 5,000 other items or something, and there's just no way to do it simply without just making offers on them for me. John Lennon and Yoko Ono double fantasy, the Merck family a live concert for the Good Times Ray Price and Elton John Dempsey, the piano player. And those are running. I listed the Chris Ledoux on eBay the other day, upstate. Thank you, York. York, would you like that in nice laminated one? I have it. You met John Lennon? Well, the laminated one is like perfect. I'll just send them both to you. You can figure out what to do with them. Don't send them to the landfill. Bitchy will be mad. I'm sure I'll have 10 more over the next couple months. Somebody else wants one, they can grab one. No, it was those ones that are on there now, those late record club ones. I listed those a long time ago just because they were pretty rare. Um, the Chris Ledoux, I put through a show here and offered it for $4 and like the lots like I'm doing now, and nobody bid on it. James Taylor, Walking Man with laminated label. Theme from Charlie's Angels. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Mardi Gras, and the Outlaws Bring It Back Alive. And that is running. Well, thank you, York. It's Creedence. Uh, well, I wish you good luck upstate. Uh, I don't know what your financial situation is, but if you're not wealthy, just be careful you don't get to the point where you're taking out a third or fourth mortgage on your house because you went crazy on whatnot, or do, and spend it all in my shows. That'd be cool. I've I've been doing this for a little over 2 years, and I've heard some horror stories in that time from people that absolutely blew up their retirement and all sorts of stuff on here. They just start swiping and don't stop until I guess their spouse beats the shit out of them. Deodato Artistry, Ray Conniff, theme from SWAT. Ray Conniff, Love Will Keep Us Together, and Andre Castellanet's You Light Up My Life. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And Ghost, I have not heard any firsthand stories about that. I There's a guy I know that collects cards, uh, that buys baseball cards occasionally. He's told me stories about other people, But I've heard some horror stories from people, and none of them were from those categories. They're all in the antique categories and like estate sales and the jewelry categories. But yeah, those baseball breaks, these guys are crazy. But it's like anything. If you get in and out at the right time, you can make a fortune. But you got to get out at the right time. And you got to get in at a price where there can be a good time to get out. That is a pretty color, Bishy. Statler Brothers years ago, the Mark Family Strings and Orchestra, Jethro Tull Minstrel in the Gallery, and Johnny Mathis, the best of. And that's running. Barry Manilow trying to get the feeling. Yorp, you don't get 1% coupons anymore, do you? You progressed. You don't. Yeah, you're up to $2 off and $1 off, 30% off, 25% off, 20% off. Oh, you get them all. See, I didn't know that. So, so if somebody makes it the whole way to diamond level, they'll have like 1,000 coupons that they could use. Did I run those? Nobody wants them anyway. I'm gonna run them just to make sure. Bishy, I think that like I was when I was reading that stuff, whatever we were talking about the other day, maybe the flash sales. I think those custom avatars. I think that was in beta, which I guess by the next season they'll probably be. It'll either be out of beta or else I'll have a chance to do it too. But because I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I wasn't when you were showing me those screenshots, it looked nothing like what I was seeing. But yeah, that would be cool. Um, Mini Bishy is an artiste, an aspiring artiste, an asshat. Once in a lifetime. Edmundo Rose or something. The best of Jim Reeves' sacred songs, something by Frank Sinatra, and the best of Christmas. And that's right. Keith always harasses me about the 5% off ones. I don't think he realized there was a level where you could save 1%. I I don't think he needs another collection. I think his photos take up enough room. Kenny Rogers, Daytime Friends. Mary Ann Jordan, Sing My Way to Heaven. Barry Manilow, Even Now, and Richard Clayderman, Music of Love. And those running. I, Bishy, I was surprised he didn't stick around for that album that I said was halfway decent the other night. I was telling Butterfly, I thought it was funny. At the beginning of that show, I had like 25 people in there. And I told everybody the best album was at the end. And by the end, there was about 9 or 10 people, which, when you consider that me and you and Butterfly were three of them, there wasn't very many people in there. And I thought that was a really nice album. It was early, and the photos were really nice. There was pretty much Ghost. Although I started that show with like 25 or 27 people, something like that. This one didn't start that way. It started with me. Robert Goulet on Broadway. Polka Whoopie, Frankie G, Gilbert O'Sullivan himself, and Barbara Streisand happening in Central Park. And that's running. Bishy, a year or so ago, I was getting regularly. I was probably getting 50 or more people in my ephemera shows. I just, I'm lazy, and they take so much work. And it does help when you chat. Um, but I don't know. Those marathon shows, they wear you down. Hank Thompson, kindly keeping it country. Holy crap, that kind of caught. Butterfly, do you take your pills? The Hits of Spain, the Surrey Strings, Chicago 9, and Jim Croce, Time in a Bottle. Well, that was the alarm, Butterfly. They were running. All right, I suppose I ought to get off of here for the night. Butterfly probably thinks I should go have something to eat. This is Slave. Frank Sinatra's Greatest Hits Volume 2. Fronti and Teeth, You're Killing Me Softly. Neil Diamond, I'm glad you're here with me tonight. Tomorrow I'm thinking about trying to do ephemera at some point. And I may come back on tomorrow evening and do some more 8 tracks. Um, I've got to get some stuff listed for Friday's cassette music show, some pre-listed stuff. And everybody wish Bishy well. She's gotta take care of Mr. Bishy for a few days or weeks or months or something. He's got a boo boo on his shoulder, or gonna have a boo boo. Um, well, I added everything to the stacks that I thought was better rock, or it'll be in the stacks. Um, the only thing I stuck here in the oddball pile was that, and the better pile was the Kiss, and that one with the boobies that I showed you. You didn't miss anything mind blowing, I don't think. Um, where are we going, Bishy? Are we going to raid somebody with our little group of people? I have no idea who's on. Yeah, Uh, I'm thinking Fridays after my cassette show is when I'll do that. Um, but I'll have some sort of I'll have some sort of separation of where we stopped the last time, um, or something. I don't know. I might do a video beforehand and let you circle them or take pictures, and I don't know. There was only one person that requested things that didn't stick around to buy them. But if I have too many out and take too long to scan, then there'll be more people making requests and then they'll leave. Yeah, I was waiting to judge. I don't know whose turn it was. So you don't know where we're going, Bishy? Jack Schilling. Alrighty. We'll go. I don't know who that is. We'll go check him out. I assume it's a him. Jack Schilling 1212 or 1212. Thank you guys for those purchases. I'll be back more this week at some point. I don't know when they'll be scheduled, but check your notifications or set your notifications so you hear me. Um, your CDs and cassettes. All right, let's go check them out. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thank you, Upstate. Whoops. Why did you do that? Oh, now I gotta take it again. Jack Schilling, 1212. There we go.